Football is the most popular sport in America, and for high school athletes, it's also the most dangerous. The only thing protecting a player from a head injury is the helmet. Five on Your Side spent the past 3 months investigating the types of helmets being used at more than 140 area high schools, asking the question, do local schools have the safest helmets possible? Every high school football season, Friday night lights shine on fields all over the bi-state area. A closer look reveals they also cast a dark shadow. Studies show that athletes playing football are twice as likely to suffer a concussion than in any other sport.
I didn't want him to play football.
How come?
It's too rough.
Janet Hill's son, Charlie, plays on the Fox High School freshman team. He got the ball on the first play of the first scrimmage of the year.
The play kind of got messed up a little bit, and I wasn't really looking where I was going, and I got picked up by the linebacker.
Another boy just slammed him, and I mean, he went up in the air and then down on his head.
The season was still weeks away, and doctors told Charlie he had suffered a concussion.
It got worse and worse for a few days. When school first started, I had bad headaches walking to my classes. I got dizzy.
Though he didn't know it at the time, engineers at Virginia Tech University have spent the last 10 years doing research with players like Charlie in mind.
Of all sports, your risk of head injury in football is the greatest. And what we try to do is how do we bring that risk down to where it's even with the other sports.
Dr. Stefan Duma and his team of biomechanical engineers research everything from auto safety to protecting military troops. They've also spent a decade looking at football helmets.
So we took 10 years, millions of data points, brought it into the lab, and recreated test energy levels to simulate what the players see on the field.
The goal is to find out which football helmets offer better protection against concussion. First, they put sensors in the helmets to record how many times a player is hit, in what direction, and the magnitude. Then, using that information, they created a drop test to use on helmets most commonly used by high school football teams. Each model gets tested 120 times at different heights and different directions. The amount of impact absorbed by the helmet is then measured, and a star rating is assigned, 1 to 5, with 5 being the best.
And to put numbers on that, I can take, for one drop test, a 1-star helmet, and I'll get 150 Gs. Replace it with a 5-star helmet, I can cut that in half to 75 Gs. And our fundamental point is there's a huge difference between 150 Gs and 75 Gs.
Duma says based on what helmet you use, you can reduce your risk of concussion by more than 50%. After learning about the 5-star system, News Channel 5 wanted to see how our high schools measure up. We sent public records requests to more than 140 schools in the bi-state area. We asked for records verifying which makes and models of helmets they're using. What we found is that many of the schools in our area have 4- and 5-star helmets. But we also found a significant number have 1- and 2-star helmets.
Ready, hot!
At St. Charles West, 106 of 122 helmets were 4- and 5-star, but 16 of them were just 1-star helmets. They were unaware of the Virginia Tech study and welcomed the information.
My reaction was, knowledge is power. If there's a study out there that can help us pick equipment that will keep our students safe, I want to know about it.
Between practice and games, high school football players can get hit hundreds of times a year. And one thing is clear, no football helmet can prevent all concussions. As it turns out, Charlie Hill was wearing a 4-star helmet when he suffered his concussion, and he's back on the field at Fox. As for his mom,
Because I hadn't thought about it before he got a concussion, what kind of equipment they had issued to him, and I think I probably need to know that. Parents need to know.
so how can parents find out what helmets their child's school is using? A 1-star or a 5-star? We have taken all the information and created a huge database along with a number of interactive tools to give everyone the opportunity to see the latest information. Here's Kay Quinn.
Right now on KSDK's homepage, you'll see our 5 on Your Side investigation on football helmet safety. You'll be able to watch the story here and also check your school's database. You click on this line here, and That will take you to another screen where you can enter your school name or use the drop-down menu. And that gives you your school's helmet star ratings. You'll see the make and model of the helmet, plus how many of the helmets your school has. You'll also see the action taken. That's your school's response to the Virginia Tech study. So visit this story at ksdk.com, where you'll find in-depth information about our helmet investigation. Kay Quinn, News Channel 5.
Only public schools had to respond to our requests, and every school we contacted uses certified helmets from the National Operating Committee on Standards for Athletic Equipment, better known as NOCSE. The group conducts its own studies and tests on helmets. Now, tomorrow night, our investigation continues with the story of a local teen who nearly lost his life after suffering a head injury.